Good evening, sir.
Good evening, teacher.
Hi. Hi. Can you hear me? Good evening.
Good evening.
Okay, maybe I can hear you well. I don't know if you could hear me. Let me change the headset, please.
El Inter que no sirve, güey. Eso. La otra es que me pongan una silla y una esquina.
Okay, now can you hear me? Yes?
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, because I was saying hi, hi, hi. And I almost didn't listen to you. So I think that my headsets were, died. Okay, but I already changed. Okay, so good evening, sir. It's nice to see you this last week. Okay, thanks for being punctual. We're gonna start the
Okay.
class because it's just you, but it doesn't matter. We gotta start the class. Okay, so today we have a new topic that is, okay, what are the forms, future forms that you know, that you remember?
Future.
Yeah, future forms. In which ways,
Will.
yeah, can you express future when you want to talk about something in future? What is the way that you do it?
I will want to travel to Venezuela on December 20.
Okay, on December 20th.
December
20th.
20th. 20th.
20th.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
I'm going to take a vacation to the next week.
Okay. On next week. Okay. On next week. Okay, so there we are, right? One of the ways that we are gonna be working tonight. And so you know what's the difference, right? Between one and the other.
Okay.
Do you know?
I don't remember.
When we supposed to use one and when supposed to use the other? Do you remember or do you know?
Will is no. Going to is for that things that I do. Soon.
That we have done.
We have done. Soon.
Going to is for something that we have done.
No.
I don't catch the idea.
Oh, no.
Excuse me.
No. I'm going to. Well, going to is for things that I do. No, that I will do soon. Cercana, o sea, acciones próximas a suceder, algo así.
Okay, for going to.
Going to.
Okay, well, not exactly. Okay, but maybe you don't need the whole class today because you have the idea, well, no more than the idea of the structure, right? Just the first part, so you can help your classmates, okay, in case that they
Okay.
don't know. Because I think that the information won't be new for you, according to your answers. But let me tell you something. Maybe the structure not, but when to use it, yes. Okay, maybe you have forgotten, but you will remember soon. But let me tell you that we use going to when you have plans. As simple as that. That is the difference. It is true that sometimes we can use any of them, you know, maybe will or maybe going to. But sometimes it's necessary, let's say, it sounds more natural if we use will or if we use going to in some situations. So, because will is more for something spontaneous, you know, something that you don't plan, that you don't think in advance, and something that you are not sure that it will happen. Maybe it's just a wish of your heart. Maybe it's just an idea, a dream, right? So in that category, we can use, let's say, will. For example, the other that I mentioned at the beginning, we have a spontaneous decision. It means that if you say to someone, for example, I will open the door for you, it is spontaneous, right? I'll pay it for you, or I'll pay. Don't worry. So that's spontaneous. You don't plan, right? Okay, tomorrow my dear co-worker will go with heavy boxes, so I'm gonna help her, I'm gonna help him, and I'm gonna tell her, okay, wait, I'll open the door for you. No, right? It's something that you don't think in advance. It's something that you don't plan. Correct? That's what I mean, spontaneous. Because you don't think about it, you just look and you do the action. I'll open the door for you. Or maybe the phone is ringing, right? The phone is ringing. So you're gonna say, oh, don't worry. I take the phone. I take the call. I will take the phone. I will pick up the phone. Don't move. Stay on your seat drinking your coffee. Okay? So you are being nice, but spontaneously, because it wasn't planned, you know? So those are clear examples. I hope that those are clear examples of being spontaneous. Okay, something that happens in the moment, that you don't do a decision, or you don't think about that in advance. Okay, or at the moment, there is a very common definition. We use will at the moment when you take decisions at the moment of speaking. It means that, for example, you are with friends. So you can say, I'll go with you. You are talking about, well, I think that it's good if I'm trying to find a car, and tomorrow I'm gonna see one possible car that I would like to buy. So you can say, I'll go with you if you want. So at the moment of speaking, you are taking the decision. Okay, so that's another definition, at the moment of speaking. Okay, or for example, I'll send it today, teacher. If I said, okay, when will you send the activity, guys? I'll send it tomorrow, teacher. Promise, I'll send it today. Because it's at the moment of speaking. that we are speaking and you tell me something in the future in that moment, immediately, because of the conversation, you know? So that is at the moment of speaking, that is an example of a spontaneous decision and something that you are not sure. It means that maybe if you say, I will travel to Venezuela, for example, right? Taking your words, I will travel to Venezuela. But it is different. Sometimes we can use, I will travel to Venezuela, or I'm going to travel to Venezuela. But if you ask me, so what's the difference? The difference is that maybe if we are focused on the meaning, I will say, okay, if he is telling me I will travel to Venezuela, it means that he wants, but maybe still you don't have the ticket. You don't have even the money. Okay? So it's just that you think, that you consider a possibility. Okay? So, or maybe you are not sure because you don't know if your vacations will be that day. It's a possibility. But in the way that you said, okay? In the way that you said. Yeah, nobody said, I don't know if you said anything. I heard someone. No. Okay, so in the moment of speaking, right, as an example, but if someone says me, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna travel, it's because we have the ticket, because we have the money in the bank, it's because we have the hotel, or we have, I don't know, everything, basically everything will be a part of the need of the things that we need are there, are done. So that's the difference. That's the difference, that when we use going to, basically it's because we take a decision in advance. It's because we plan it. It's because we are fairly sure that it will happen. And in what way can I be fairly sure? Well, when I have evidence. One more example, if we say, I think it will rain tomorrow. I think, because today didn't rain. So I think. So I can say, it will rain tomorrow. It's a possibility. It's because I assume that yesterday didn't rain. Today didn't rain. So tomorrow is possible. It's a possibility. But if we say, it's gonna rain tomorrow, it means that maybe the weather forecaster, maybe we have a scientific information about weather. So there we have more and more examples when to use one and when to use the other. I don't know if you have any question, guys? No questions about the difference when to use will and when to use going to? Mr. Ramirez?
Good evening, teacher.
Good evening, sir. Nice to see you.
Thanks.
No questions?
At moment now.
Not at the moment.
Not
Okay.
at the moment. Thanks.
Okay. Well, so if you don't have any doubt, any question about the when to use one, when to use the other. And remember, I insist on this. Sometimes it's possible to use any of them, and we won't have the difference. Okay, but for example, if you have something really planned, you can say, because you are speaking, for example, you are excited because you're gonna get married. I will get married next year. Okay, so we can say I will get married, or we can say I'm gonna get married, because you have everything prepared. It depends, right? Sometimes it's possible to use any of them. But sometimes, Mr. Ramirez, is important to make the difference. Because at the beginning of the class, I don't know if you were in the first minute of the class, but I was saying that if we have something spontaneous, is will. For example, if you said, I will open the door for you. Spontaneous, right? You are being nice. You are being a gentleman. So it's something spontaneous that you decide in the moment of doing. Okay, but if we have clear when to use one and when to use the other, we're gonna see the structure. Okay, that's where the book has. Maybe for you, right, it won't be new, the structure. So good for you. But this is the topic that we have. Okay, so here we have to start, to introduce the topic, we have a conversation. And here you can notice that we are using this form, this future form. So let's see if it applies. If it applies to a plan or something decided in advance. Let's see, let's listen this conversation and you're gonna tell me. Okay, so it says, hello, thank you for calling the Golden Star Hotel. This is Jen. How can I help you? Hello, I need to make a reservation. Sure. May I have your name, please? Of course, I'm Gerardo Gomez. Thank you, Mr. Gomez. When are you going to arrive? I'm going to arrive on Friday, 14th. Okay, how long are you going to stay with us, Mr. Gomez? I'm going to stay until Monday. Are you going to make the reservation for a single or a double room? A single room, please. Well, here we have some vocabulary, right, of the previous class. But tell me, do you think that it applies to the general definition of the use of going to? And tell me why. Guys. In the conversation, can you identify if we have clear the use and why? Does it match with the information that I gave you? you are analyzing. Okay, Mr. Peroso, tell me, please. Mr. Peroso. I think Mr. Peroso's internet is not working now.
Yeah.
How about,
the-
yeah, tell me, sir, please.
See, the internet mistake there, Mr. Peroso.
Yes, right. I'm seeing that that he doesn't answer. So maybe I guess that is the internet because it looks that he comes and go. Okay. Well, anyway, so and how about you, Mr. Ramirez? My internet doesn't work neither. Tell me.
I understand the conversation is spontaneous.
Is it spontaneous? Not really, Mr. Ramirez. I don't think it is spontaneous. Remember my example of a spontaneous. Something is spontaneous. Remember, Mr. Ramirez, that I said is when you like this, you said, okay, I will open the door for you. Don't move, Sofia. Okay? Oh, I'll pick up the phone, Sofia. Stay in your seat and drink your coffee because the phone rang. If the phone rang and you didn't know that the phone will ring, you didn't know that the phone will ring. You didn't plan the phone to ring, right? So it was something spontaneous that it happens in the moment. That's what we mean spontaneous. So I don't think, Mr. Ramirez, that in this case, this conversation is something spontaneous. It's natural, but not spontaneous. Or if you see, for example, your daughter, your wife, and you say, okay, I'll open the door for you of the car, for example, right? You don't stop thinking one day before, okay, tomorrow, or maybe, right? If you are in love with your wife, maybe you will start thinking like that. Tomorrow I'm gonna be nice with my wife and I'm gonna open the door for her when she get into the car, so she will know that I'm still a gentleman. Okay? If you are planning that, maybe, right, that you think in advance. Right, Mr. Ramirez? Le voy a abrir la puerta mañana a mi esposa del carro. Y usted está justo a dormirse pensando. Okay, yeah, but I don't think that is a plan, right? That is not possible. I don't think that you say before you sleep, voy a ser amable mañana con mis, al menos que esté enojado con ella. Pero de lo contrario, I don't think so, que va a estar planeando, le voy a abrir la puerta, le voy a contestar el teléfono para que ella no se moleste de nada. No, it's something spontaneous, right? When you pick up the phone for her, when you open the door for her, no es algo que planea y piensa de manera predeterminada, all right? So in this case, it's not spontaneous. But it's a plan. Look, we have here, when are you going to arrive? This is not spontaneous. It has to be something programmed, right? It has to be something programmed. Okay?
Okay, thanks.
And in this case, I'm going to arrive. Look, a specific day. I'm going to arrive on Friday, 14th. This is not spontaneous. This is something programmed, something planned in advance. The other, are you going to stay with us? Neither. According to the conversation, no, right? Maybe it can be spontaneous if you don't have a hotel. For example, if you travel near, maybe to Guatemala, and when we go to see where we're gonna stay, right? And we go to this hotel, no vacancy, okay, and we go to the other. It happened to me once. Okay, it happened to me once because we didn't have a reservation, and we just, okay, there we know there are a lot of hotels. There are good hotels, said one of my friends. So he said, okay, let's do it there. And we went from hotel to hotel, no vacancy, no vacancy. Okay, so maybe in that situation can be something spontaneous. Okay, I will stay with you. but according to the conversation, this is not spontaneous because this person has planned everything. So you see, and here we have the proof. I'm going to stay until Monday. And the last, are you going to make the reservation? Maybe this one. Maybe this part can be a little bit out of the concept. But remember that I insist on that. I told you that sometimes there is no difference if we use will and going to. Sometimes can be any of them. If we don't have something very, very strict or mark, can be any of them, will or going to. But in some situations, for example, in spontaneous situations, sounds a little bit weird. You know, if we say, I'm gonna open the door for you. No, it's something doesn't sound good. Something doesn't sound natural. In that case, definitely it's better to say, I will do it for you. I will drive you home. For example, if your coworker feels sick, right, and she's dizzy or he is dizzy, and that was not something planned. So you will say, I'll drive you home, don't worry. It's spontaneous. Because you didn't know that that person will feel sick, will feel dizzy, like that he or she can't drive. So it was not part of your plan to drive your coworker at home. But in that moment, because you see the problem, you said, I'll drive you home, don't worry. So that's what we mean with the spontaneous, right? In those cases, it is better, definitely, sounds more natural to use will. And when you have a plan very, very specific with many details, or when you are sure, between quotations, you are sure that that will be, we use going to. But we have, remember, the mid position that sometimes we can use any of them. Y no me va a marcar esa gran diferencia. Porque lo que diga no está ni bien para will ni bien para going to. Es neutral, pero eso va a depender de cada situación. That's why it's important that we establish, that we get the idea when to use will and when to use going to, and when to use any of them. Because there is not something very, very general, you know. Can be necessary will, can be necessary going to, or can be any of them in some situations. So maybe in the exercises, we'll recognize when it's possible to use will or going to and make no difference. But in most of this conversation, we have something planned, something organized in advance. Okay? And that's the use that I was explaining at the beginning, when to use going to. Okay, how to recognize when to use going to. Okay, so I'm gonna read it once more so you can go to practice before we continue with the structure. I think that for most of you, the structure is not really new. I think that you know the elements of this future form. Well, but anyway, this is part of the topics and part of the class, so we're gonna work. We're gonna work on that. If all of you know already this topic, let's practice. Okay, or if for some of you, it is new, ask, please. Okay, so let me read it again, please. Here we go again. Hello, thank you for calling the Golden Star Hotel. This is Jen. Jen, how can I help you? Hello, I need to make a reservation. Sure. May I have your name, please? Of course. I'm Gerardo Gomez. Thank you, Mr. Gomez. When are you going to arrive? I'm going to arrive on Friday 14th. How long are you going to stay with us, Mr. Gomez? I'm going to stay until Monday. Are you going to make the reservation for a single room or a double room? A single room, please. Okay, this is the conversation and the structure that we're gonna study. And vocabulary, I don't think that we have any new vocabulary, because just common words and single and double room, that was the previous class, right? We were working with this vocabulary. Okay, but if you don't have any question, I don't think that you have any question. Let's go to practice this, and then we're gonna come back to work in this future form. If you still have any doubt about how to use it, ask me when we come back. Okay, so let's go to practice this. 3 minutes, I think it's a short. In 3 minutes, you can switch the conversation.
Ahora sí. Hello, Omar.
We are in the main room, sir. We are in the main room, Giancarlo.
Yes.
Yes.
I want to practice with Omar.
Well, if you want to do it in the general room, general meeting,
Sorry.
go ahead.
Sorry,
No, go
teacher.
ahead. If you want to practice, go ahead.
Okay. Hello, Omar. Omar.
Hello, start you.
Yeah.
You start.
Yes. Hello. Thank you for calling the Golden Star Hotel. This is Jan. How can I help you?
Hello, I need to make a reservation.
Sure. May I have your name, please?
Of course, I'm Gerardo Gomez.
Thank you, Mr. Gomez. When are you going to arrive?
No, one second.
¿Me
I'm going
escuchaste?
to arrive on Friday 14th.
How long are you going to stay with us, Mr. Gomez?
I'm going to stay until Monday.
Are you going to make a reservation for a single or a double room?
A single room, please.
Okay.
Okay, there we are. Remember that it's an ordinal number, so we said 14th. 14th.
14th.
And
14th.
another word, I didn't remember who said that, but some of you
44.
say the same, is hotel. Hotel. Okay?
Hotel.
No hotel, it's hotel.
Hotel.
Yes. Okay, well, those are a couple of words that I listened that some of you repeated in similar. Okay, and so we need to change that pronunciation. Okay, so let's continue. So as you could see here, we have, as we were talking, right, about a plan. And that is the structure that we're gonna study. Okay, so we have here something that I was explaining, okay, in a while way, some minutes ago. So we have here, you see, talk something that you have decided to do. You have decided to do. And for something that you have the intention of doing, but you have the plan. Okay, you are decided in advance. For predicting the future, but with some clear evidence. Okay, that something will happen. You see here we have the evidence. Look at the dark clouds. It's going to rain later. Maybe it's really windy, right? We can see thunders. I don't know. There is an evidence it's gonna rain. If it's very dark, many dark clouds are coming, and it's the wind is blowing very strong, like that, right? So it's going to rain. So that's what it says, right? Look, we have evidence in a prediction. We can use going to, but with evidence. Is very different. If we see, I think it will rain tomorrow. I think, as I said at the beginning, right? It's my opinion. No dark clouds, no wind, no weather forecaster that says that tomorrow will be raining. But it's my opinion because I think that every 3 days will be raining. And as I said at the beginning, today didn't rain. Yesterday didn't rain. So tomorrow has to rain. So I can say it will rain tomorrow. But I don't have any evidence. I suppose. So that's what they mean when they say evidence. Okay, that is the meaning of evidence. And let's go to the structure. In the structure, we have here we have affirmative, negative, and interrogative. Okay, so I'm gonna mention the three of them in one go because I think that you are already familiarized with this structure. So remember, it is like 5 fingers of one hand. You need to have a subject, a person. You need to have the verb to be. You need to have going. You need to have to, and you need to have the verb. 5 elements. If you don't have one of these elements, you don't have the correct structure. Because some people says, for example, I going to, and they omit at the moment of speaking, they don't use the verb to be before going to. Or other situations that I've seen in many students, it does say that they say, I'm going to, but it's like they forgot to mention going to what? Because in this case, if you don't use the last verb, you are saying nothing. Voy a qué? So we need the specific action. So we need a verb at the end. So you see, 5 fingers, 5 elements. So when you use this structure, don't forget, don't omit any of these fingers to make the hand, the complete hand, that in this case is the structure. So as you can see here, guys, the point is not this part, we don't change. The part that we change is the verb to be form. But this is something that is not new for you, right? You know that we use is with singular and that we use are with plural forms and I with an. This is not new for you because you studied and you know perfectly verb to be since first level. So the new supposed to be that we add now, verb to be is working with another auxiliary, let's say, going to plus a verb, another verb. That is the new part, but as you can see, this part is constant. We don't change that part because we have third person. We don't change this part because it's negative. And we don't change that part because it's interrogative. Look, it keeps the same. Look at this part. It's the same, right? Here you have affirmative. Here you have negative. Here you have interrogative. So in all the parts, we don't move the position and we don't move the order or the structure. Look, it's the same. The only thing that we're gonna change in this case, the verb to be according to the person. And the position of verb to be because it's interrogative. And add not to verb to be. So as you can see, the information of the structure of the changes that we need to do is exactly the same that when we use verb to be in simple present. No changes, right? Es que como aquí es going to, she, he, ya no va con is, sino que es al revés. No, it's the same. To make a negative, we added not to verb to be. It's the same here. To make a negative, no voy a. To make a question, verb to be changed the position and it goes at the beginning. In simple present. Well, now that we have combined with going to that make a future, it's the same. Verb to be goes at the beginning if you want to do a question. You see? That is the structure. Affirmative, negative, interrogative. I don't know if you have any question about the structure.
That is clear. Thanks, Miss.
Okay, it's clear. Excellent, sir. Thanks for answering. Okay. So here we have more examples. I got a couple of more examples for you. So you can see what I was explaining. I liked this slide because I think it shows clearly what I was mentioning and explaining. You see here, going to keeps the same. The verb, no changes in the verb. And the change that we do is verb to be according to the person. But this is not new for you. So what we have to focus is on what? On verb to be form. Something that is not new for you. And we have to focus on use the 5 elements. Verb to be, going to, the person, verb to be, going to, and the verb. So you can see here that all of them have a verb. All of them has a verb. All of them have going to, going to, going to. Okay, so let's do this easy exercise. So what do we need here to complete the sentence?
He's
Sí.
going to have a party birthday. A birthday party, perdón, excuse me.
Yes, correct. Birthday party. But here we have the important, Ms. Rodriguez. Okay, this is the important point. Okay, she's going to have a birthday party. Correct? Tom?
Tom is.
Excuse me?
Tom is going to pass his exams.
I don't know if I listen Tom his. Solo is.
Tom is going to pass his exam.
Okay, I'm not sure, Mr. Rodriguez. I don't know if you say his, but if you don't say his, excellent, right? Just is. But I listen.
Is.
Yeah, I listen like you say Tom, his. I don't know, but I'm not sure. But you have to, yeah. Okay, so Tom is going to pass. It's saying, right? I
am going to make a cake for lunch.
Okay, I am. They
are going to go to England.
England. They are.
Yeah.
My sister
My sister is going to do their English homework.
Correct. And the sky is gray. It
It is
Going to rain.
correct. It is going to rain. You see, easy, because the part that we need to change is verb to be. But the information is the same, right? That we learn in level 1. You use is with he, she, or something equivalent. It. That's what the part that we are changing. You can see here for all of them, for all those sentences, going to not change. So you see, easy. Something else that I want to tell you. You can do the same contracted forms that we use with verb to be in the simple present. So we can say she's going to have a birthday party. I'm going to make a cake for lunch. My sisters, I can make a contracted forms here, right? My sister's going. It's going to rain. You can do the same contracted forms. Same for negative. You can say they aren't, or they're not going to, or they aren't going to. So you can use all the contracted forms that you learn in verb to be, simple present when he was alone, the same contracted forms now that it is with going to. Okay, you can use them, of course. You can use the same contracted forms. Actually, it's better to use the contracted forms, right? She's going to. Tom's going to. I'm going to. They're going to. And the same for the negatives. Okay, that is something else that I wanted to add with that information. And now we have to add more, right? We have to add more. Don't pay attention, right, to the instructions that I don't know what language is that. It's not English, but the exercise is in English. That's important. And this is a good exercise. That's what I chose it. So it is very hot today. So you have to choose the verb that corresponds according to the context and with the complete structure. In this case, just verb to be, because the rest of the structure was there. But now tell me the full sentence with the full structure, please. Who has letter A? Who can tell me letter A, please? Excuse me? Go ahead.
I'm going to, it is very hot today. I'm going to swim in the lake.
Makes sense, right? Let's try that one. Sounds good for me. So we can use that. I'm gonna use the contracted forms. I'm going
I'm gonna swim in the lake.
Okay. In that case, we have, right? That option, that sounds good. Let's see. The next.
We are going to visit our grandfather this weekend.
Okay, we are going to the visit. No, we are going to visit.
To visit.
Yes. No,
Okay.
no me meta nadie por ahí, en medio. Solo son 5. No quieren a nadie más en esa familia de 5.
Only
Okay?
5.
Yeah, only 5 elements. only 5 members. So it would be we are
going
going
to visit our parents this week.
correct to visit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements. Not to the visit, right? So we are going to visit our grandparents this weekend. Sounds good too. We haven't seen them for a long time. And the last one, John.
Joe and his brother are going to ride their bike.
Okay, so can be, right? I guess that he was answering. So John and his brother are, because we have John and his brother are 2, right? So it's plural. And the same story.
Right.
Okay, you see? So in this case, we don't have to add any other word, and we don't have to omit one of these 5 words, because it happens. It happens many times that some of you add one word and some of you omit one of these 5 elements. Sometimes, right? It happens. Okay, so that's correct. You see? So now let's analyze. It says, she's going to have a birthday party. Sounds like a plan, right? I'm going to make a cake for lunch. Sounds like a plan. They're going to go to England. Oh, they're going to go to England. Sounds like a plan. My sister is going to do her homework, so her English homework. In these cases, you can see that, do you remember that I told you sometimes depending on the idea, on the context, make no difference. So in this case, my sister and this one, we can say Tom will pass his exams, or my sister will do her English homework. Can be any of them, you know, because that situation is not very specific or very important that we have a specific intention. So as I said, there are some ideas that we can express in future with will or going to. But if I said she's going to have a birthday party, it sounds like a plan. She has to organize. She has to buy many things. She has to invite people. So it's a plan, it's an organization. It implies a process, right? To get there, to get to the party. It's not something, I have a party in this moment. That's difficult, right? So you see, here we have 2 examples in which we could use will or going to. In this case, as I said, the rest of the sentences, she's going to have a party, I'm going to make a cake, they are going to go to England, and the sky is gray, it is going to rain. Those 4 sentences, it's better, clearly, it's better to use going to because they imply a plan, a previous idea, you know, a previous knowledge before the thing happens. Okay, before the things happen. You see? That is the difference. Same here, right? I'm going to swim in the lake. Is that previous decision? We are going to visit our grandparents. These are the previous decision. It's not something spontaneous. Are going to ride their bikes. It's a plan. So you see how most of the time it implies something that we decide in advance when we use going to. I think that with these examples is fairly clear. Okay. And let's go back to the book. Okay, here we have what I explained, right? I'm going to argue. Here you have it in your book. This is your book, as you can see, right? I just went back to the book. You see? I'm going to, you see here they are using the contracted form. Okay. Are you going to stay? Question. Verb to be at the beginning. The rest stays after the person. You see? That's what I already explained. So, you're gonna go to work with your classmates, please, to solve this with your classmates. But before solving that, I'm gonna take the attendance. Well, maybe I'm gonna open the attendance. So maybe you can just tell me your names, please, because I think we'll be faster. Just give me a second because I'm opening the attendance. Okay, I'm gonna mention some of you that I remember because in this moment I'm not in Zoom. I'm in the screen of the list, the attendance list, so I can see you. But I remember that Mr. Let me see. No, Mr. Barrientos, no. Mr. Ramirez is in class. Okay. Let me see who else I remember. Patricia? Are you around, Patricia? Yes, right? I think I saw your name. Yes, Patricia? Hi, hello? Oh, no. No.
Hi, teacher.
Okay, yeah.
Hi.
Okay, you are around. Okay, let me see who else I remember. Who else? Okay, Mr. Peroso. That he's on for a while. It looks to have a bad internet today. Or maybe he has a party, right? Because he's always happy and smiling. But he's supposed to be around. Mr. Peroso and Miss Rodriguez and Giancarlo. Okay, anybody else who is in class and I didn't mention?
Me,
Tell me your name, please.
Carla María Escalante de Ayala.
Okay, let me look for your name. Carla María. Sorry, I didn't remember your name. Carla María. Yes, here you are. Okay. Okay, Carla María. There you have your attendance. Okay, anybody else who I didn't mention? No, right? No, nobody else. Okay, thanks. Okay, let me go back to well, I'm gonna share the sentences. Please, and try to solve them. Let me go back to Zoom. So I can do the pairs so you can work with your classmates. Okay. Let's try to work when you have the solution. Remember the position that we were talking about, right? We were talking about the order, the type of verb to be, but the position is verb to be if it is a question, the person and going to. If it is affirmative, the person, verb to be and going to. If it is negative, the person, verb to be, not and going to. Going to and the verb is always in the same position. Well, try to solve and send, please send to the group when you have solved that exercise. Send the solution, just one member of the group. Okay, so I think you didn't send it, but the important is that if you did it, okay? If you discuss. If you discuss, well, we still have some people in the breakout rooms. Let me check. Yes, we have one group. So let's wait for them in 10 seconds. Okay, now I think everybody's in the main room. So I was telling you that I think that nobody sent it to the group, but no problem. Just tell me if you have any doubt. Well, we already solved one doubt in group number 2. I don't remember which one, but we already solved one doubt, right? When we did a correction together, we figured it out. So I don't know if anybody else has another doubt, any doubt, or something that you were not sure about one order. I don't know. No? Okay, so I'm gonna tell you how they supposed to be. Okay, are you going to make a reservation for the conference room? I'm going to request a wake up call for 5 a.m. Mrs. Turcios is going to check out tomorrow. The maintenance team is going to attend a conference on October 10th. And the last is Mrs. Diaz going to need a non-smoking room. That's
Okay.
the order that we're supposed to find. If you don't have any of them like that, you have another option or you have any other question, this is the moment to tell us. But if everything is fine, let's continue. We're gonna remember that now I want that you get familiar with the fingers, right? With all the fingers, because you see it happens. It happens, right, Mr. Ramirez?
It's
Ya ven
correct.
que
Yeah,
yes,
it's
right.
correct.
It's true, right? It's true. Ya ven que le dije. Siempre me le cortan un dedito a la manita, okay? So we're gonna get familiar with these exercises, with the structure. Don't eliminate any finger. Use the correct order, and written forms or brain will take the structure, and at the end we're gonna do speakings. You're gonna tell me real stories. You're gonna tell me about you, about your plans, okay, spontaneously. So we're gonna practice at the end, when I will consider that you will be ready, right? That no problem with the structure, with the order, and with the elements. Okay, so let's do some other exercise. This one. Remember that this exercise is to remember the order. What goes first? Who is the subject?
Poland.
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 Then I need what?
Poland is going to win the war.
Okay, then I need verb to be. And after verb to be, I need going. After going, I need to. This is the, and then the verb, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fingers, right, Mr. Ramirez? 5 fingers.
Yes.
Okay. Poland is going to win.
I understand.
I hope so. The World Cup. That is the complement.
I am
I'm going
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 to
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 marry an Englishman. Who is the person here? Who does the action?
My friends.
my best friend.
My best
Friend.
friend
Going to
He's going
is
to buy.
Is
uh-huh,
going to
is going, where to be, going and to.
Buy
buy
a new
buy
scooter.
a
A
new,
new,
a new
Ah.
scooter.
correct, a new scooter. So look, all these, my best friend, tres palabritas me hacen un solo sujeto, pero todas van antes porque todo eso es el sujeto. Y si dijera, my handsome best friend, my beautiful best friend, todo eso es el sujeto. ¿Ok? So, new scooter.
planet.
Planet is
Planet
is
Is going to be a
going
pilot.
to
To be a pilot.
pilot.
We are going to have 2 children.
Okay, we are
Going
going
to have
to
2 children.
have
have 2 children.
2 children. My Robbie are going to
my
my
Robbie.
my Robbie friends.
My friends
No, Robbie, no. Robbie,
are
no.
are going
My friends are going to play
to
with
play
play Robbie
party.
their
with
With their parents.
their parents.
Their party.
Parents. My neighbors
My neighbor
aren't going to come to the party.
You see here they are using the contracted form of verb to be. The same.
Aren't. My neighbors aren't going to
to
come
the
to the
party.
Julie
Julie
Juliet
is
is going
going
to Julie's
Julie isn't
going
Huh?
going to
tennis
play
because she's sick.
because
Correct.
she says
Okay, if we understand, it doesn't matter that we have a lot of words, right? We don't get confused.
I'm going
I'm not
to
booked. I'm not booked.
I'm not by.
I'm not going to
Ay, no,
buy.
Mr. Ramírez, otra vez, y ahora me le quitó 2 deditos, Mr. Ramírez.
Sorry.
I'm not by, me dijo. No, Mr. Ramírez.
going
Ajá.
Going to buy
You see, Mr. Ramírez. Don't forget it.
not
that notebook.
it
It's
is
expensive. Are you going to eat cake?
So it's a question, just the verb to be at the beginning.
Melanie is is Melanie going to
Going to.
Going to go. Going to go. With you. With you
Correct.
to the
No, no, like no,
go
to the park.
to the park with you.
With you.
Yes, that's the way that Miss Rodriguez, I think she said.
Am I going?
Am I going
Am I?
Am I
going to
going to be
To be in your team.
in your
your
team?
team?
So you see, immediately, right? Our brain looks for the verb, right? Immediately, our brain looks for the order, looks for the element, looks for the verb. Okay, so that's the way that our brain will get familiar with this structure. I got some other for you. Give me a second, please. Okay, you're gonna do one similar, but you're gonna try to solve it together, okay? So I'm gonna send the link to the group and I'm gonna create the groups. But this time, send me the screenshot, please. Send me the screenshot. This is similar, it's another, but it's similar to the one that we did together. So I think that you will do it fast, very fast. Let me send the link for you to the group, and then I'm gonna create the breakout rooms. Okay, now let's see. Okay. Okay, let's see. I have to screenshot, but I don't know who sent the first. Okay, so, but anyway, the group number 2 is the winner because they have, well, they have 51, right? In less time, and the other have 44 and more time. Okay, so I think it's like a match, right? Because one of you has less time. I know. Let me see. I'm confused. The first have 44 or 44, 54 or 54. And okay, so it's in 6 minutes, and the other also is group the first. Who sent the first? I don't know who sent the first. Okay, and something else. You were working like individually. Just group number 2 was sharing the screen and participating, right? No, I'm in my phone and you in your phone, I in my computer, you're in your computer, and everybody, right, solving. The idea is to do it in groups. Remember, my dear people, when you go to the breakout rooms, is to interact. If you're gonna do something individually, make no sense that you go to the breakout rooms. So I was visiting, and some of you were just, ¿por cuál vas? All right, and it's supposed not to be the idea. And the other, well, I didn't even listen to that you were interacting. You were just like in your screen and the other no. Okay, so remember, the idea is to say it aloud, to help your classmates. Don't forget that, please. When you go to the breakout rooms, is for interacting, somehow to interact with your classmates. Okay, well, it was fairly good. I don't know, some of you are identified, some of you are not identified, but in the screen that sent, but all of you have a fairly good score. Okay, so that's nice. So I think that we can start speaking, we can start speaking. So I'm gonna show you this, and please, you're gonna answer. Don't forget that it's supposed to be a plan. So don't tell me, try to answer with the structure that we are practicing, please. So, are you going to travel next year? Do you have that plan? Because it's a plan, right? Don't tell me, yes, I hope that I will travel. No, it's not I hope. It's that you have the evidence, right? You have the hotel, or maybe you have the invitation, you have some money saved, you have the ticket, I don't know. So are you going to travel next year? Or if it's negative, no, I don't. Next year, I'm not going to travel, because you don't have that decision, right? So you can say, no, I'm not going to travel, because it's a plan not to travel. It's a plan too. So are you going to travel next year? Carla Maria, are you going to travel next year? No, around?
Yes, I do.
No, sir. Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Yes, I am.
Yes, because remember, look, we don't have any do around.
Ay, perdón.
Okay, so we can say, Mr. Barrientos.
Excuse me, teacher. Pensé que tenía abierto el micrófono.
Oh, really? Okay, no. It wasn't. Okay, just let me answer this to Mr. Barrientos, okay? And you can tell us your answer with details, Mrs. Calante. Okay, so
Okay.
Mr. Barrientos, no, you can say do because look, you don't have in the question.
Are you
Do,
going to travel next year?
yeah,
Are you?
do doesn't appear, right? So remember, the auxiliary that you have is the auxiliary that you
Oh,
will use
same.
in
Are
the
you
answer.
going to?
So in this case, no do, right?
Okay.
Okay,
Yes, I am.
okay. For example, yes, I am. So Mrs. Calante, tell me, yes or no with details. Are you going to travel next year?
Yes, I am going to travel next year.
Continue telling us the details.
I going to travel Mexico
To Mexico?
to Mexico and I visit I visit my family.
I'm going to.
I going to visit my family.
Correct. Because it's not I visit. Listen, that is strange, right? Voy a viajar, visito a mi familia. It sounds a little bit weird in Spanish and in English, right? Because we change. Tenemos que tener esa coherence, se llama en gramática. Coherence. Cuando uso un tiempo para hablar, a veces podemos cambiar de tiempos, pero generalmente mantenemos un tiempo, especialmente cuando no he cambiado de idea, right? So that coherence, that's what you have to be careful. So you said, I'm going to travel to Mexico, I'm going to visit my family. Okay, so I'm changing, right? Do they live there? Porque ya me dijo el plan. Entonces, algo presente, ven como un ejemplo para que ustedes vean, sí puedo cambiar de tiempo, pero es como que hago un corte, right? Ella ya me dijo el plan, la parte del plan, because it's until next year. So I'm talking about something in the present. Do they live there? Mrs. Calante? Do they live there?
I don't understand. I don't understand, teacher. Does your family live there? Does your family live in Mexico? Could you please, teacher, repeat?
Sure. Does your family, look, I'm gonna write it for you. Does
Okay.
your family live in Mexico?
Okay. Yes.
Miss, what's going on? Yes, what?
Yes, my family live in Mexico.
Okay, and give me a short answer.
Excuse me?
Give me a short answer. Hurry up, a short answer. Does your family live in Mexico?
Yes.
Yes, what? Short answer.
I don't understand your answer.
Okay, I'm gonna recommend you for level 1 again. Okay, teacher, okay. Remember Mrs. Ayala, right? Short answer is when you use the auxiliary. No more information. You say yes or no, but yes, it does. In this case, it does. Does your family live in Mexico? Yes, it does. O yes, they do. Porque si hablo de it, hablo de una cosa de la familia individual. Pero si digo ellos, tengo que cambiar el auxiliar a do, right? Yes, they do. O yes, it does. That is a short answer.
Okay,
are you a happy woman? Short answer, yes, I am. Right? That is a short answer. Okay, and okay, thanks, Mrs. Escalante. So in that case, eso es lo que les dije que vamos a practicar esta semana. All right, guys? We're gonna continue. Okay, we're gonna continue